But I want to share with you why it is I know without question every single one of you can succeed on the internet. Without question, without doubt, there's not a fiber in my body that doesn't believe it. I don't care what your background is, period. I know without question that you can. The first thing I want you to get and understand, and you'll want to write this down, the internet does not require your permission. It only requires your participation. The internet does not require your permission. It only requires your participation. Let me ask you this. If you were to go and jump off of this hotel, would the law of gravity suspend you in thin air and ask you for permission to drop you, yes or no? No. The law is the law, and it works without your permission, right? There's certain things that operate in the internet that will deliver you success without your permission, but you must participate. How many here have kids? Okay. Now, when you were having kids, did you have to jump inside and start moving stuff and turning stuff and riding on stuff to make those babies, yes or no? All you had to do is what? Participate. Right? Participation can be fun, right? So understand that the role you play in participation is important when it comes to certain laws and certain principles. And what I want to share with you is how you participate in the internet in a very specific way that pretty much, for the most part, can guarantee that you're going to succeed. Now, to what degree, that's going to vary depending on, different markets and stuff like that. But success, absolutely, without question, not a fiber in my body that doubts it. And it all comes down to, after me having helped so many different people become successful, after they had tried all kinds of courses, all kinds of seminars, and all kinds of other coaching programs. And I wanted to figure out why was it I was able to help people, whether they were new or whether they were experienced, whether they were a startup company, whether they were a company that needed to be turned around, or an individual's business that needed to be turned around, or they were doing well and they wanted to accelerate their growth. And I realized one of the things that I started doing was identifying very specific patterns that were at work on the internet. That regardless of who you are, if you understand these patterns and you work with them, you're going to succeed. And I also started to realize the patterns that every single one of us have in common, regardless of what it is we're doing. Network marketing, real estate, internet marketing, doesn't matter. And then I started thinking about it. I said, wait a second. Every single person I've been able to help them has been following these very specific patterns in a very specific way. And there's a few of those I want to share with you today. But to kind of help you to understand what I really mean by that, how many of you in here understand English? And for those of you that didn't raise your hand, you're probably having a very difficult time right now, right? Now, think about English. How many books are out there written in English? Millions. Who knows? Millions. Millions. Now, would it be fair to say, amongst those millions of books written in English, there are those that become New York Times bestsellers and Wall Street Journal bestsellers and sell millions of copies? And then there's those that are no sellers, nobody buys it? What's the one thing they all have in common? They are all a combination of the same 26 letters. The bestseller doesn't have some special 27 letters. Like, that's why you're a bestseller, because you got that special extra letter. And if I had the extra letter, I'd be a bestseller too. No. Think about it. They're all a combination of the exact same 26 letters. How many here like art? Or movies? I love high definition movies. Think about art and how people can go into a room and they can see a painting on the wall and have no clue what it is and bid millions for it. And sitting right next to it can be a piece of art that they do understand and they will bid nothing for it. What does the picture that, may call it a Picasso, what is the picture that people will bid millions for and have in common with the picture that people will bid nothing for? Or think about movies, high definition movies. You have movies that become blockbusters. Right now, if Will Smith is in it, it's like, that's $100 million guaranteed at the box office, right? But you have these high-definition movies that become blockbusters, and you have those that just bust. What do they all have in common? All of them, whether the paintings or the high-definition movies, are traced back to the same three primary colors. Are you guys following me here? Yeah. How many here like music? How many of you have music that you love to listen to, when you hear it, you're like, come on, man, turn that up? Yeah? Now, how many of you have music that you can't stand listening to? It's like, oh, turn it off. What do they both have in common? Think about it. Both the music you love to listen to and the music you can't stand to listen to have the exact same 12 notes on the musical scale. The bad music don't have 12 bad notes. It's like, oh, I don't like those notes. Same notes. So in all the complexities of life, if you strip out all the tall weeds and you get to the simplistic heart and nucleus of it, Everything comes from basic patterns. And there's no difference when it comes to being successful. Every single one of us right now are operating within the exact same patterns in how you make your money. And I'm going to show you why you make the kind of money you make and how you can change it. You guys interested in that? Yes or no?
Yes.
And then we're going to go over some very specific things as far as how you can do this on the internet. But the first thing we want to look at is what I call your income engine. You'll want to write this down. This is the combination of three basic things. Who, what, how. Every single one of us on every continent and every language operate within this to make money. We have who we serve, what we serve, and how we serve. How many of you here have a job? Right. Now, did you get that job because one day you popped in the back door and sat at a seat and ended up on payroll? Yes or no? That's not how it works. You saw who you wanted to work for or who that wanted you to work for them, a what, a very specific skill that you can provide, and then a how. So there was the who. You want to work for X company. What, you have these specific skills you can provide, and how did you go through the process? Maybe you called in and did a telephone interview, sent in your resume, walked in and sat down and did an interview, and then they hired you. Yes or no? Yes. Now you have the job. So you have the who you're working for, right? You have the what that you're constantly doing for them to get paid, and you have the how you go about doing it. Right or wrong? Listen, if you're not making money today off of work that you did days ago, weeks ago, months ago, and even years ago, you need a new income engine. Most people's income is sub-optimized. It's not optimized. You work for an hour, you get paid for an hour, right or wrong? Or you have a salary and you're expected to work a certain number of hours. Right or wrong? But how many hours can you actually work? Even if you're like, I'm a monster, I can go days without sleep. At some point, you hit the point of just passing out. Right? So biologically, you can only work with so many hours straight. And then how much are they going to actually pay you? Isn't it true that certain positions, they cap out at a certain amount of money? Right or wrong? So here's the challenge a lot of people have. They want to make this kind of money, and that's not a problem. But by the way this is designed, there are restrictions in the capacity and the capability of the way that's designed. You have a design where you can only make this, but yet you want to achieve this, and you're frustrated as you struggle with figuring out how to get that work. Let me ask you something. Let's just say right now your automobile goes from 0 to 60 in a lousy 10 seconds, right? And you want to go from 0 to 60 in an amazing 3.2 seconds. Everybody understand where we're going with this, yes or no? Yes. Now, if we put some new rims on the car, is it going to go faster? No. What if the rims cost 20 grand a rim? What if they're spinning? No? What if we tint the windows? What if we put some new paint on the body? No? What if we put this really nice sound system and we put TVs in the headrest? Is it going to go faster, yes or no? Why? Because we are not making a change at the center of gravity of what impacts the speed of the car. Now, did you make an investment of time, energy, and money? Yes. Are you busy? Yes. Is there a sense of change? Yes. But you have not changed the core element. So your car looks better, and it may even go slower, but it ain't going faster because we have not upgraded the engine and increased its horsepower. So what you want to do is look at how you can increase your money-making horsepower, improve your income engine. And it's simple. We ask one simple question in each area. Who else can I serve? What else can I serve? How else can I serve them? You see how simple that is? Every single company on the planet does this to succeed. And when they don't, they fail, without question. Show me one company that exists and that's successful that does not have a who they're serving, a what product or service they're serving, and a how, a proven methodology that's profitable and going about delivering. See, we get so caught up in all this stuff in the peripheral that keeps you busy and keeps you entertained, but it's nonsense. It's like changing the rims on the car to try to go faster. Everybody understand this, yes or no? So this right here is the heart, the income engine. I could spend a lot of time on that, but we need to move on.